this episode of Project Unify's podcast. I wanted to inform you guys about a few announcements before we begin discussing the role that Decatur Church of Christ plays in Project Unify. One of the things we want you to be aware of is next week at CYC. If you'll be looking for this truck and trailer, also when you come into CYC, look at the booths. We'll be there to discuss what we're involved with, what's going on, what we do, and ways that if your congregation wants to be involved that you can. Also, we want to encourage you next week, Heritage University. We'll be going to the chapel there and speaking at Chapel at Heritage University over in Florence. So if you look online to see their worship, their chapel service, we'll be at Heritage University on next Thursday around lunchtime. So make sure you keep an eye out for those things. Those are exciting. We get to be in two places that we've never been and you discuss some things we've never discussed before. We've heard a lot about the Texas snowstorms and everything going on in Texas. We're looking in ways of maybe being able to help those guys out. We're also looking at opportunities to help out in other places such as Georgia and North Carolina where they've been hit by tornadoes. A lot of different things going on. Project Unify is all over the place. We've had to help our own community out quite a bit lately as well. Delivering things, moving things for people, just helping some folks out. But the whole purpose of this episode of Project Unify's podcast is to discuss with you where all of this originated, how the congregation that started it is still playing a role in it, what is their efforts, what are their involvements, what is the main thing that Decatur Church of Christ does. See, all this started at Grant Street Church of Christ a few years ago in 2018. And it was basically a truck and a trailer. We said we want to help people, we want to reach out. We spoke with our elders. They said, how can we go out and help people more effectively? You have any ideas? So we bought a truck and we bought a trailer, a 2004 F-250, and the trailer that you see behind me, a 16-foot enclosed. And about a week later, Hurricane Florence hit, and we made 2 trips back and forth. The news channels here locally helped us out a lot of getting word out that, hey, we're going to load up a truck and a trailer, we're going to take supplies, we're going to help people, we're going to do good things for people. And all of a sudden, we had a trailer just completely filled with supplies to help people out with. So we took off to North Carolina, helped out with Hurricane Florence, made a couple trips there. Just a week or two later, Hurricane Michael hits down in Panama City Beach, Florida, in the Mexico Beach area. So we were down there a lot. We were back and forth on a couple trips, staying for a few days at a time, helping cut trees. We started to expand a little bit, do some more hands-on involvement type stuff. Well, a little while later, 2 congregations came together, the Austinville Church of Christ and the Grant Street Church of Christ. And when they meshed together, we decided, well, we've got more resources. How can we help people even further? Project Unify had grown at that point, hadn't been named Unify yet. It was just our disaster relief program. And then it grew to the point we realized if more people get involved, rather than this being about one congregation's logo, let's make this about the church as a whole. Let's let all the different congregations that want an opportunity to serve more effectively, that want an opportunity to give back, let's let them all join in and let them help any way that they want to. So we started Project Unify. We ended up getting hold of this 2001 F450. We got it from Brindley Mountain Fire Department out in Brindley Mountain, Alabama. We got a really good deal on it. It made it where we could haul heavier weight, where we had a more dependable truck, where we had something that we could go further distances and not use as much fuel on. It has been just an absolute wonderful piece of equipment, and it's still continuing to be upgraded. We've got some more changes to do on it, but Decatur Church of Christ has been completely in charge of and in control of the truck and the trailer, deciding how to maintain maintenance on it, how to afford to keep up with the maintenance on it. When we needed help because our funding was a little bit low, Decatur Church of Christ kicks in and they make sure that we've got the funds to be able to go out and help other people. As we go different areas, we started thinking about how we're going to involve all these different groups. And that's what these next few podcasts are going to be about, how everybody's different. Specifically here at Decatur, we're the central hub of where everything gets brought to. Decatur Church of Christ had agreed through the eldership and the members to take on whatever things had not been already purchased and donated. So let's say we need a whole lot of water for the next trip, and we don't have much water coming from anywhere else. Decatur agreed, hey, we're going to take care of that need. We're going to fill it. We're going to take care of maintaining, storing, and insuring the truck and trailer. This truck and trailer stays on the road quite a bit whenever storms and disasters hit, and we're going into places that are already devastated by different disasters. So what do we do if we get into a situation that is bad? Well, that's why insurance is there. You pay for insurance on your car, for your health, for your home. You pay for that to protect the things that are valuable to you so you can do more with them. Decatur Church of Christ put a great insurance policy on this truck and on this trailer in a way that says we want to make sure we take care of the things that we've invested in, that we take care of the things that are serving others. It'd be great to have, a ton of equipment, but when it starts breaking or if somebody tears something up and you don't have the ability to fix it, then it's useless. So Decatur Church of Christ has ensured the future of Project Unify by saying if this truck's in an accident, if something happens with the stuff that's in the trailer, if something happens with the stuff in the truck, it's insured. Man, what a blessing it is to have that sort of peace and comfort, knowing that you can help others without fears like that. Decatur Church of Christ also frees up the time of a couple of their ministers. Myself, Robert Gwynn, Will Harrop, and Alan Watkins have all been on disaster relief trips. We are supported by the congregation here at Decatur Church of Christ. Me and Robert are listed as outreach ministers. Will Harrop is our youth evangelist, and Alan Watkins is our pulpit minister. All of us have had the opportunity to go and help because as the elders here at Decatur Church of Christ decided, if we're going to serve people, we want to give our members as well as our ministers the opportunity to go out and serve, to go out and help, to go out and not just send a check, but to be a face in a community that says, look, if you need a hug, we'll give you a hug. If you need prayers, we're going to sit here and pray with you. If you'd like to study the Bible, we'll study the Bible with you. And if you just need the tree cut off of your house, we'll help you with that too. We can tarp roofs, we can do things like that, but that is only possible if you've got a central group that says, we will be in charge. We will take the lead. All the things that go on will all come together right here at Decatur. And that we will guarantee that that truck can be driven because our ministers are freed up of their time in a way that says, you can go and serve. You can go and be the hands and feet of Jesus. Because of that, Decatur was able to give opportunities to more congregations, was able to say, hey, if you would like to join our effort, that you can. Because of the freedom that they give the ministers to be able to go and help people in times of need, because of the salaries that are covered, because of the insurance that is covered, because of the fuel costs that is covered, we're able to go out and do so much more in a community. Now, I want to share with you some information about this truck because Decatur Church of Christ has played the key role in making sure this truck stays on the road. On the back of it are some toolboxes. It's getting more upgrades. The toolboxes will be moved to the front. Then it'll have a couple shorter ones put on the back with every congregation involved listed. But if you notice on the door, it says Project Unify with a phone number underneath it. That phone number gets you a direct line to the Decatur Church of Christ. If you have questions about Project Unify, that phone number can bring you straight to my voicemail, or it can bring you straight to my desk if I'm in the office. So if there's something that's needed, Decatur Church of Christ said we're going to provide a special phone line that just goes straight to the office that myself and Robert Gwynn are both in. And if anything's needed at all that has to do with disaster relief and Project Unify, if we're not there, we'll be able to receive the message. We'll be able to get back to you as soon as possible. So that's another blessing that Decatur Church of Christ has given to us, is being able to have a phone line that says it goes straight here. A few of the other things that we've been able to do together is on the trailer. I don't think you can see it on the camera right now, but in the trailer, there is a list of places that we've been, how many trips we've taken. We keep up with all that, and Decatur's helped cover that, so we've got a record of where we have and have not been. Inside the trailer right now, sometimes stored inside the bus barn, but right now inside the trailer is a zero-turn lawnmower, a couple weed eaters, some blowers, and things like that. Not always is there going to be a disaster. There's not always going to be some horrible thing going on. So what do you do with all of this whenever there's not a storm? Do you just let it sit in a parking lot and let the tires dry rot? Well, that would be kind of not being a good steward. Do we just store it up inside of a shed and let it sit until the next disaster hits? Well, what a waste for a vehicle that could be serving God and serving people to just sit. So what we chose to do, what we decided to do, is put a trailer that has a lawnmower, weed eaters, and blowers in it. And if we go around town and realize someone has a yard that has not been mowed in quite some time, we'll get out, we'll be able to cut the yard for them, do it for free, and then offer to have a Bible study with them. You see, more important than any physical thing we do is the souls of every person God created. So whenever we go into all these different areas, it's our goal to jump in, to be able to help, to be able to serve, to be able to do things, whether it's right here at home or whether it's during a disaster somewhere outside this state. So we use this truck and trailer to be able to help people and serve people in the community. We have used it today here in just a little bit. It'll be going to haul a load of firewood to a lady that she heats her house off of wood. We're going to go, and since she's running low because of the low temperatures we've had, and it's been so cold, we're going to go and deliver some firewood to a lady so she can continue to heat her house. All of those things that are local, all of those things that help the community that we live in right here are made possible because Decatur Church of Christ is involved with Project Unify, because they help start something that is going to reach out and serve so many other communities, because we've got so many things in front of us that are needs, and we've got so few answers. We decided at Decatur Church of Christ, let's be an answer. Thank God for every congregation involved, because as every congregation gets involved, the Hartsville Church of Christ, the Priceville Church of Christ, the Flint Church of Christ, the different ones, I know Noah Church of Christ in Manchester, Tennessee, they just jumped in with us. As all these groups get together, we're able to do something bigger than ourselves, to help serve our local communities, but to be able to show the church as a whole. To be able to say, it's not about what title is on your sign, of whether it's Decatur, Flint, Priceville, Hartsville, or Noah. It's about the church that Jesus died for, the one he purchased with his blood. It's about the life that Jesus lived that gave us something so we could do more. It's about Jesus giving us grace as well as service, and then him saying that the church is the hands and feet of Jesus. Well, what are we doing? If we are, you've heard the song, if we're the body, what are we doing? What are our hands doing? What are our feet doing? Where are we sending Jesus to be able to reach out into a community? So as you think about all these things, I want you to think about upcoming storms. If you have things to donate, you can do that right here at Decatur. If you'd like to be involved in Project Unify, your congregation can be involved in a number of ways. We just received a box of 50 letters from one of the members here at Decatur. And those letters are simply encouraging letters that are written that say things like, I'm praying for you. I hope that recovery goes well for you. All these different issues that people face in the time of a storm. And then a complete stranger shows up, and we're able to hand them a letter and say, look, not only do we want to help, we want to give you this to read later. And later on, when they open that envelope and a complete stranger has written them a letter of encouragement that says, I love you and I'm praying for you. Don't forget that you're valuable. Don't forget that if you need help, we're here. Don't forget that whatever needs you may have, if we can help in any way, that we will. That's what it's all about. Even if the only ability that you have right now is the ability to sit down and write a letter on a piece of notebook paper, then you have a way to serve in Project Unify. More importantly, you have a way to serve the body of Christ. You see, we cannot get to heaven without being servants. We cannot get to heaven without following the example Jesus set for us, and he was the ultimate servant. So what Project Unify is all about is showing the world that the church is united and we are serving just like Jesus. That we're able to get out and give to others and do things that are just helping, just flat out service. No matter what condition you're in, no matter if the only thing you can do, maybe you don't even know how to read and write. Prayer is an incredibly powerful tool. We could use all the prayers we could get, especially those that we're serving could use all the prayers they can get. Decatur Church of Christ, we thank you for your involvement with Project Unify. If you have any questions, you can put those in the comments here. You can send us messages. You can send us messages on Facebook. You can send us messages in the mail. You can send us messages by phone. If you've got questions about what we do, let us know. We'd love to talk more about it with you. We'd love for you to join in. On this truck, before we go, I forgot to tell you about the toolboxes. Each toolbox represents something. The toolbox on the bottom left corner, it has packed inside of it chainsaws, oil cans, gas cans, all kinds of things that are there so that when we get somewhere, if we need to cut a tree up, all we got to do is turn our handles when we unlock them and we have access to equipment. Right above them is where we store things like hammocks and cots. You see, we don't go into hotel rooms and get all these fancy places to sleep, because generally in a disaster, that stuff is taken up by linemen. It's taken up by people that are going to be there for months to come. We go in and we try to sleep outside near the truck or in the trailer if we can get inside there after we unload all the supplies we donate. On the other side, the top box is reserved for the guys that ride in this truck. If you ride in the truck, you have that box to put your luggage in, to put any kind of clothing you've got, any sort of materials that you believe you need to bring with you. They go in that box. Directly underneath that, the box underneath it is used for any kind of snacks that the crew might need. We put a cooler on the bed and we fill that other toolbox up with snacks so that we're not having to take from the food that we're taking to donate. So every inch of this truck is designed with a purpose. It's 4-wheel drive so we can get to places that are difficult to get to. It's a heavy-duty truck. It's an F450, so we can haul the weight we need. So as blessings come in, we can pour blessings out. It's got all of these emergency lights that are about to be upgraded to yellow and white, so that we've got lights that let people know, hey, we're over here. If we're broke down on the side of the interstate swapping out a tire for someone, people know, hey, there's somebody on the side of the road, they can move over. The last thing I want to do is put somebody in danger. So if we ever stop on the side of the interstate to help someone swap their tire, I want not only for us to be seen, but I want the people we're helping to be seen, so that we're able to serve them without threat of danger, without threat of life, threatening injuries, things like that. So this truck's getting a lot of different upgrades. This trailer has been an absolute blessing to so many parts of what we do in this congregation, to be able to store and house all the materials we've got. I'm going to turn the camera for just a minute. There's something I want to show you. This building back here behind us, it's the bus barn. Inside that bus barn is a whole lot of shelving, and on that shelving we're able to store some things that basically are there only for Project Unify. Those things give to so many others. There is a 1986 Pierce Arrow fire truck inside that shed. It's basically like our little firehouse. It's a pumper truck. This truck was getting repairs done to it. We were putting different gear ratios on the back of the truck so we could go down the interstate and not have such high RPMs that we mess our motor up. So as it was getting repairs done, tornado hit Fultondale, Alabama. So what do? Our truck is out of service. There's a tornado in January. What are we going to do to serve people? Well, the fire truck that's here at the Decatur Church of Christ is used for evangelism, like a mobile vacation Bible school unit, to teach kids, to teach adults who Jesus is based on the fire service and all the energy and information that goes there with. We point all that towards Jesus. Well, Decatur Church of Christ said, there's a truck. If yours is being worked on from Project Unify, load up in the fire truck and take off. So that's what we did. We put all of our chainsaws in the compartments of the fire truck. We put all of our supplies on the back end of it. We loaded wheelbarrows on top. We put tarps indoors. We put things all over this fire truck. And we headed to Fultondale, Alabama. We spent a few days down there putting tarps on roofs, giving out supplies, cutting up trees, patching up people's homes. So many different things we were able to do just a couple weeks ago because Decatur Church of Christ jumped in and said, hey, we've got a resource and we want you to use it to the glory of God. Guys, it's beautiful. It's incredible. I absolutely love how many things are going on in this world that are good. It's easy to get distracted by the bad. Keep in mind, there is still far more good than there is bad in this world. And where you don't see good, be the good. You may be the only light in a dark situation. Let's make the difference and be the good. I love you guys. I hope you're doing well. Pray for us as we continue forward. If you have more questions, let us know. Next week, don't forget, we'll be at CYC. We'll be at Heritage University. We'll also be able to have another podcast next Thursday. We'll sit down and we'll discuss some different things that other congregations are doing to be more involved in Project Unify. Love you guys. Have a fantastic day.